What's good, family? It's me, Coach 67 Sports TV. Shout out to the awesome and amazing LDBC Lions Den Broadcasting Community. Shout out to the General 7 Sports TV. Shout out to Anthony
Yes,
O'Neill and the
sir.
Impact Society. Last but definitely not least, shout out to the greatest university in the world, the Southern University, home of the mighty Jaguars. This here is episode 3 of HBCU Fanatics. We're going to give y'all a whole rundown of the show, but I'm going to turn it over to my co host, my brother, Jared 11 Green. We're good with you, bro?
I'm blessed to be here. Blessed to we finally able to do a third show, man. We had you being actual coach and my obligations. We were able to get a third installment going, man. So you know how it is. I'm blessed to be here, bro.
Man, hey, I'm grateful to have you, bro. We gonna keep this particular episode short and sweet. We're gonna get in and out like a robbery. Our topics for this particular episode, FAMU survives again. We're gonna give you a rundown of this past weekend's slate of SWAC and MEAC games. And then, of course, the main topic is my Southern University Jaguars poor performance. Of course, they let me down this weekend against the McNeese State Cowboys. So I'm gonna turn it over to you, bro. You know, get us going with the first topic, fam. You.
Yes, sir. So those who don't know, FAMU had another tough game against those honorary South Carolina State Bulldogs, uh, which they're always known to be tough in the MEAC. Florida A&M last week crawled out of a tough game against Norfolk State. Um, uh, Now they're 2-0, and they beat Florida A&M 22-18. One person I do want to shout out is Daniel Richardson, uh, for the quarterback for FAMU. He transferred from FAU Florida Atlantic, and he's been slinging the ball pretty well. Uh, this past weekend, he had 282 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns. Um, so shout out to that young man. But FAMU crawled out another one, another tough former MEAC rival. Which of course FAMU is no longer in the MEAC anymore than the SWAC, but um, it was definitely a good game again. I said me and you, coach, said this last week. We thought the game against Norfolk State and FAMU was one of the, if not the best game that week, and we can say it about this past weekend. It was a good game. I'll put it in my top 3 games of last week, probably top 2. But it was definitely a good game, man. But South Carolina State basically came to play. Um, they quarterback Eric Phoenix had a manageable, decent game, 132 yards through the air, 1 touchdown. DeAndre Duhart, running back, he had 74 yards on the ground, big boy, 5'10", 215 pound, good size back. Um, he's a former Benedict Tiger. So he's from the SEAC. So the new coach brought him over from the SEAC school to a MEAC. So he did a damn good job toting that ball against that rough FAMU defense. But coach, that's enough of me rambling, man. What was your thoughts on the game?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. It go to show you the type of football that they playing over there in the MEAC. To push FAMU to the limit again. I thought it was from what I saw of it, I thought it was a good entertaining game. And a lot of people think right now FAMU is the number one team in black college football. I think it's kind of too early to tell. But as the season progresses and we get through more of the season, we'll get to see how good FAMU really is. But I thought it was another good win for them. And more than anything,
Yes, sir.
they lived to survive another week, and they survived another week. And hey, at this point, you just want to win and keep going forward, and that's all you really want. You know what I'm saying? So moving into the next thing, in terms of the slate of games and scores and everything, we just gonna kind of just breeze through the scores. So give the people the scores for this past weekend in terms of the MEAC and the SWAC and who did what before we get to our final topic, bro.
Okay, I sure will. Uh, so we're gonna be a mixture of MEAC and SWAC scores. So on Thursday, uh, Rutgers beat Howard 44-7. UL Monroe, University of Louisiana Monroe beat Jackson State 30-14. That's actually that was another close game, but the death of UL Monroe overwhelmed Jackson State at the end.
Yeah.
But it was Jackson State played them hard though. Wake Forest in the beginning, I want to say the first quarter, even the second quarter, played Wake Forest tough, but that the Wake Forest was over to overwhelm them with the depth of talent and beat North Carolina A&T 45-13. Arkansas Pine Bluff basically let Arkansas basically let Arkansas Pine Bluff know that they ain't nowhere near the level. They are basically beating the crap out of Arkansas Pine Bluff 70-0. UAB, University of Alabama Birmingham, beat Alcorn State 41-3. Now Saturday, East Carolina beat Norfolk State 42-3. The game we just discussed, Florida A&M beat South Carolina State 22-18. Morgan State survives against Hampton 30-28. That's one of the games that was very good on Saturday. Delaware State beat Sacred Heart 17-15. And I'm not surprised by that. Delaware State the MEAC is gonna be tough, man. But anyway, Tennessee State beats Mississippi Valley 41-21. Their defense shut out Mississippi Valley the first half. Mississippi State didn't score until fourth quarter. All that 21 points in fourth quarter for the second half. Texas Southern beats convincingly Prairie View A&M 27-9. South Florida beat Bethune-Cookman 48-3. Auburn beats Alabama A&M, of course, 73-3. Louisiana,
ULL,
Raging Cajun, beats Grambling 40-10. And the game that we're going to talk about beats McNeese State. Southern loses to McNeese State 21-7. This is the game we're going to talk about, one of our topics. And on Sunday, North Carolina Central survives against Alabama State 31-24.
and of course, I already know you're gonna ask. You're gonna be like, Coach, what game jumps out at you the most? To me, outside of
Yes, sir.
the FAMU game, the Alabama State game, them losing, they were predicted to win the SWAC East. That game kind of jumps out at me. And the other game that kind of jumps out at me, a lot of times when SWAC schools play against, PWIs like, you know, FBS, PWIs like ULL, ULM, I kind of keep my eye on that. Of course, ULL and ULM are both in-state schools. For those that don't know ULM, of course, I'm sure y'all know the Louisiana fans. ULM is University of Louisiana at Monroe. And ULL is University of Louisiana at Lafayette. I was, I caught some of the ULM game as they played against Jackson State, and I was happy with the way the kind of showing and performance that Jackson State had. And while I was at the game Saturday night between Southern and McNeese, I saw when I went downstairs to bring my nephew to get some concessions, during the third quarter. I pulled it up on my phone and I saw ULL beating Grambling 37-0. I'm like, what? So, those are the games that kind of stuck out to me. I was hoping that, SWAC schools, they could have made a better showing against these PWIs. Coach P. Richardson, he was never a huge fan of, Southern constantly playing against Southern Common schools like McNeese and Nickel State, like they're playing this year, or Northwestern State, Southeastern, or whoever. And, Senior, may you rest in peace, he was always a proponent of, you don't necessarily have to play in the classics, but he was more of a fan of, hey, we just, we need to break bread with each other and, go play a MEAC school like a South Carolina State or Howard or Hampton, or even if they're not in a MEAC, you play at Tennessee State or whoever, even though Tennessee State was synonymous for dirty play back in those days. But, Senior was more of a proponent of that. I guess him and Coach P. Richardson had the same philosophy when it came to that type of thing,
I agree. I like how y'all got Savannah State on the schedule this year. So
yeah. I mean, and of course,
even though it's a smaller HBCU as far as division, you still showing love. So
yeah,
I like stuff like that.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with you. Senior was always a proponent of playing games that you could win. But one issue with Jaguar Nation, I'm just gonna keep it real. At one point in the late '90s, Jackson State and Southern, like one year, Jackson State would lead 1AA in attendance, then the next year would be Southern, and it was always back and forth. But the thing that always constantly tipped the scales in favor of Jackson State, they had fans come and support in droves for their home games, and they would also go and support them on the road. Whereas when it came to Southern fans like to go on the road, and when it comes to home games, you have more people in a parking lot tailgating. And since they open more room for tailgating, the crazy thing about it is we have season tickets. They open more tailgating areas around campus, and they still have so many people, getting tailgate parking passes. We still didn't get a tailgate parking pass for the season. That's how many people tailgate for the games. In fact, I have a childhood friend, he and I was best friends in primary school, elementary school for individuals outside of, where I grew up at. He said he hadn't been inside a Southern University game since 2005, but he comes to literally every home game and tailgate. They barbecue, they do whatever they're going to cook for the weekend, they cook it. And they go out and they party, have a good time. So the point I'm trying to make is there's literally more people in, for the exception of when you're playing against Alcorn State, Jackson State, there's more for homecoming. Those three games, you're really going to pack AW1 for Stadium. But outside of those three games, you're going to have more people in the parking lot tailgating that you're gonna actually have in the stadium. So, hopefully we could get Jaguar Nation to, come and support, because that's where you really make your money at the home games, more than anything. But, he felt like, when you played another HBCU school, if you play another school on your level, it probably would engage the fans more. If you played against a Howard, a Hampton, a Tennessee State, South Carolina State, that type of team, as opposed to playing against maybe like Lincoln or Allen. I'm not gonna lie, Southern fans really didn't come out for those type of games, and if they did, as soon as halftime was over, it's a mass exodus for the exit area. People heading for the exits like crazy. So, he was always more of an opponent. Like, hey, of course he liked a game. He knew he was gonna win anyway. But, for the sake of the crowd, he always thought it would be better if you play against against Howard or Hampton or North Carolina State, North Carolina A&T or South Carolina State, that type of school, if that makes sense.
No, it does, man. It does, man. But I can see with your dad, man. It makes sense. But what's the next topic, man?
Of course, our final topic is the Jags' poor performance against the
Oh
State.
yes.
And of course, I was in attendance. I was at the game. Before I give you my blow by blow breakdown, can you pull up the stats real quick, bro? Because do you have those stats available, or you just want me
I
to go?
sure do. I
All
already
right.
got it up, man. So Noah Biden on the southern side. Noah Biden, uh, 12 completions, 26 attempts, 118 yards, no touchdown, one interception. Okay. Kobe Dillon, 14 carries, 51 yards, 3.6 yards a carry, no touchdowns. Kendrick Grimes, 11 carries, 31 yards, and 2.8 yards a carry. Wide receivers, it was spread out, but nothing eye popping. Jermaine Minor Jr., 2 receptions, 37 yards. Dupree Fuller,
Tight end.
4 tight end, 4 catches, 36 yards. Chandler Whitfield, 3 catches, 31 yards. Yeah, try to get your new addition, Quay Davis.
Yeah.
From transfer from Jackson State, and I think he also transferred from Texas Southern.
Yeah.
You try to get him going, but couldn't. It was mostly the play calling, not quite, in my opinion. Defense balled out, man.
Out of their mind.
Out they mind. And they McNeese State had this former 4-star running back that originally committed. Well, he was on Miami, named Javante Sentencing. Y'all shut him down. They had to rotate running backs. Even used the feet of Clifton McDowell, of course, because that's his bread and butter. And running back named D'Angelo Durham. Yeah. That's basically what won them the game was the feat of Clinton McDowell and D'Angelo Durham. Both had around 10 to 13 yards carries, and 60. Both of them had 65 yards apiece. Clifton McDowell had 2 yards. 2 touchdowns, and Durham had 1. So there, how they beat y'all, eventually getting the running game going. They didn't do anything through the air. Clifton McDowell, one completion, 4 attempts, 28 yards, and the gentleman named Camden Six Killer. Yeah, that was his name.
He's the backup quarterback. Well, really, I'm gonna just be truthful. The white quarterback, he's the passing quarterback, and McDowell is the glorified running back playing quarterback.
Okay. Well, I think they need to do what Montana did, because they was able to get 1,000 yards passing out of Clifton. McDowell, so they can draw up a scheme, a lot of play action, a lot of stuff like that to get, because Camden 6 killer, no disrespect, he that defense was feasting. Matter of fact, the secondary dropped a lot of interceptions, in my opinion.
They did.
But
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest though. He was clearly a better passer than McDowell. I'm not even gonna just be truthful though, you know.
Okay, it is what it is. But my point, now I'm gonna switch it to you. Y'all had this game. They shut. If you look at the box score, ladies and gentlemen, if you go to Google, go to ESPN, find this game, ESPN.com, find this game, and click on the box score of Southern Jaguars versus McNeese State Cowboys, you will see the Southern Jaguars defense shut McNeese Cowboys offense down until the fourth quarter. All 21 points were scored in the fourth quarter. So what does that tell you, ladies and gents? A lot of mistakes, and defense got tired, and they eventually scored. So Southern Jaguars let the McNeese Cowboys off the hook big time. It was their game to win. They had a blocked field goal, which McNeese State, I keep saying McNeese State, but McNeese almost ran the ball.
The McNeese State Cowboys. You were right, bro.
Oh, McNeese, okay. So yeah, McNeese State Cowboys almost ran it back, which got them good field position.
On the
and they
out of the field.
And they scored it. Yep. And a lot of mistakes. Also, Noah Biden, and you can put this on the offensive coordinator or the coach. They got the ball back from the fumble recovery because Southern had a fumble recovery, almost ran it back. Okay. They had good field position. All they had to do was just try to run a game with Kobe Dillon and Kendrick Rhymes. They decided to throw it downfield and got an interception.
No, that's on Noah right there, bro. That's on Noah.
I understand. Look, hear me out. I understand it's on Noah. But if you understand this young man can't make that throw. I'm not saying he can't, but from what I saw, he wasn't able to make that throw all game. So it's time to be smart. You got the ball where you need to get it. Be smart, run that ball.
Well, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. They tried to run the ball a lot, but just like I talked about after the spring game, they want. I mean, the offensive line play was suspect. They brought in like 20 offensive linemen, bro, and the offensive line ain't what it used to be. When I say what it used to be, I'm not talking about like in the glory days in the mid to late 90s. I'm talking about even 2 years ago. You don't have a Dallas Black and the Jeremiah Stafford on your offensive line.
That's true.
So they tried to lean heavily on the running game, but it got to a point where, in certain instances, they would run the ball on first down, run the ball on second down. Now it's third and long. So, and when it came to Noah, I'm gonna be truthful, bro. Like that was a stupid pass. I mean, it was third down, cool. The receiver he threw the ball to, he was open, but he threw it late and he underthrew it. The DB intercepted it. Whereas he had somebody that was open in the flats. He wanted to be a hero. Now I'm not saying that, I don't know if it was Chandler Whitfield, who it was, he was throwing in the flats. That was open in the flats. Had he thrown the ball to the flats, I'm not saying he would have got the first down because it was 3rd and 8. This is only like 3-4 yards down the field. But the point I'm trying to make is, at least it wouldn't have been a costly turnover the way it was, So
No, I understand. I'm not debating you at all. I did have eyes. The offensive line was very suspect, but you know me, coach. You got to fool the defense somewhat. You know what I mean? So I would even drone that play up for that boy to throw that ball. To be honest with you, I would have set up a screen or something.
That was one of the problems I had too. Is the play calling was real vanilla. They first, for all y'all individuals, I pretty much recapped the game, but I'm gonna give you a real quick recap. Southern got the ball first, and the thing that kind of caught my attention was Kendrick Grimes didn't start the game. They started Kobe Dillon at running back as opposed to Kendrick Grimes. I didn't understand that from the outset, but it is what it is. So they started Kobe Dillon, and I'm not gonna lie, they got a couple first downs, they got a few first downs, then they got like 2 or 3 first downs to start the game, and then McNeese defense kind of tightened up because they realized all something really wanted to do was run the ball, and I think he completed a pass to Chandler Whitfield early, but for the most part, the passing game was ineffective and the running game was ineffective. They punted the ball. Clifton McDowell, who really many people thought was going to be the starting quarterback last year at Southern, and he stayed. He didn't want to make Montana State becoming Big Sky Newcomer of the Year. Came out there, glorified running back playing quarterback, but he's 6'5", 233. It is what it is. They didn't do much on offense either. They punted the ball to Southern. Southern did even less the second time they had the ball. They punted it back to McNeese. And what McNeese ended up doing was they ended up putting the passing quarterback in after a certain point, and he ran on third down, and he fumbled the ball. That's what gave Southern – no, I'll take that back. They kept McDowell in, and the running back fumbled the ball. One of the running backs fumbled. It gave Southern the short field. Southern scored a touchdown.
Yeah, you're right.
Then they decided, well, hey, McDowell not moving the ball on offense, and they put Six Shooter in at quarterback, the passing quarterback. And on third down, he ran and he got the first down. Once he got the first down, instead of him going on, he kept running and he fumbled the ball. So that gave Southern another short field. Southern ran the ball on first down. Southern ran the ball on second down. And on third down, Noel trying to be a hero instead of him, throwing the flats. I don't know if it would have got you the first down, but it wouldn't have been a bad pass. He threw the ball into the end zone. The receiver was open. He threw it late. Not only did he throw it late, but he underthrew it, and the DB intercepted the ball. And that kind of really was a turning point in the game. The reason being it was a turning point because that turnover came back to bite you in the behind. And then the thing I didn't like, not only were they ineffective from an offense. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the defense was lights out. Ain't no two ways about it. The offense was trash.
For real.
Was trash.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, you have a all SWAT kicker, and I'm not blaming Griffin for his kick getting blocked. The offensive line play.
No, the blocking was trash. The blocking for that kick was trash.
No. You got to realize, y'all go look at my recap of the spring game. The offensive line play was suspect in the spring game. So that's why Coach Graves brought in so many offensive linemen. That's why they really couldn't run the ball nor pass the ball like they wanted. And I'm going to be truthful. You got to play 2 quarterbacks. You don't have one in most instances. And I'm going to be truthful, bro. Noah didn't like the world on fire. And Zay tested. He throws the ball hard too often. In many instances, he don't know how to put arc or touch on his passes. Then he has a side-on release. So he got a few passes knocked down at the line of scrimmage because his side-on release. So, truthfully speaking, your quarterback situation ain't really nothing to write home about. Your offensive line play is trash. I felt like the biggest issue I had, they really didn't make an effort to get the ball to Kendrick Grimes out the backfield. They didn't make an effort to get the ball to Chandler Whitfield and Quay Davis. I like how they used Dupree Fuller. They tried to use the running game to set up the tight end. I think if they could do a better job of running the ball this coming week, really, I'm not even going to lie. No disrespect to Savannah State. You don't overlook them because this is definitely a trap game, but you should win this game. I think you should be. I wouldn't rule it out in the game. I would definitely practice it. Definitely trying to get the ball to Kendrick Grimes out the backfield, get the ball to Chandler Whitfield and the Quay Davis. Like you said, really, I'm not gonna lie. The biggest issue I have is this is the exact same team as last year, bro. The exact same team.
Yep.
Anemic
We
and
said that.
terrible
You said
offense.
that on the Southern Baller Show. Yep.
Yeah, they are anemic and terrible offensively, and they're dominant, rock solid defense, dominant defensively. But the one good thing about it last year, I said this on Swag Talk with the brother Sweet C Wells. Shout out to C Wells. But I said it, I'm like, a lot of people talk about Griffin as a kicker and Braxton Blackwell. And of course, it got to a point where on both sides, neither offense was able to move the ball. And, you know, Coach Graves, he's real conservative. And plus, Noah threw the bad interception early. So he settled for the field goal. It wasn't blocking. The field goal got blocked. They got the ball on the +5. They scored. And then your offense still trash. You can't move the ball. So now you got to punt it. And I mean, I'm not putting down Braxton Blackwell. He is a all swag deep snapper. But the bad thing about deep snappers is when they're doing good, you hear nothing about them. The only time you hear something about a deep snapper is when they mess up, and it's the same thing with him. The only time he really got his name called is when he uh, snapped the ball over the punter's head. They got the ball on the +5 again, and they scored. And that essentially was the game. You know, they go up 14-0, and then after that, uh, now they put McDowell back in the game because now they playing with house money. The defense been on the field the vast majority of the game. It's as bad as McNeese State offense was. Southern offense was worse. And you leave your defense on the field. It was 3rd and 8. They ran an option play with Clifton McDowell. He faked the pitch and he kept it, and he ran for like 50 yards, looked like. And then after that, they just came in and they scored, and that was it. So the defense held up as long as they could, but the offense and the special teams let them down, and that pretty much was the end of the game. And they brought Zay in the game, and Zay got a few passes knocked down with his sidearm release. One thing I like his footwork was better, but even with that being said, the sidearm release is problematic. I mean, he's been doing that since middle school, so I mean, I don't know how much you really can change with that. But from a play calling standpoint, the same issues I had with Coach Dooley when it came to play calling, I had the same issue Saturday night. The offense was extremely vanilla. It was trash. You trying to stick with the running game. Your running game was trash. Noah was, I hate to say it, Noah was Harold Blood Saturday night. Noah looked exactly like Harold Blood. And really, the way your offense
Ouch.
the way your offense needs to look, you need to try to get your running game going, which they tried. I don't know, they got it going good a little bit, but you need more tunnel screens, bubble screens to Chandler Whitfield, to Quay Davis, screen out the backfield to Kendrick Grimes. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's what the best they really could do offensively. Because even when they try to run a reverse, wide receivers did a lot of running just to get 2 yards. So the offensive line is trash, bro. I don't know how much you really can improve offensively because everything starts up front with your offensive line, and your offensive line is nothing to write home about. The same issue they had last year, the same issue they had this spring. Even though you brought in 20 offensive linemen, your offensive line is still suspect. So the truth of the matter is, I don't know how you really can fix the offense. The only thing I can say is I really wouldn't even implement this coming week. The same vanilla offensive game plan you had against McNeese State, I'll rule out the same vanilla offensive game plan against Savannah State. And then the following week, you really need to make a conscious effort to get the ball to your playmakers, to get the ball to Chandler Whitfield early and often, get the ball to Kendrick Grimes out the backfield, and try to mix in your running game and then you get the ball to Quay Davis and Dupree Fuller, and you got to mix it up. I mean, you got to mix it up more often. The offense is plain, it's vanilla, and the thing that really, from me being an offensive coach, the thing that really just heated me up is all the give up calls. It's 3rd and 15. I understand, Noah. He's not Quincy Richard. He's not Eric Randall. He's not Austin Howard. He's not Brian Lee. Cool. If anything, he closer to Harold Blood, and I understand that. Cool. But it's 3rd and 15, bro. Like, don't try to just drop back and run the damn quarterback draw or a halfback.
Right.
That's a give up play. You know what I'm saying? And even
Yeah.
when you had reasonable down and distance, it's like he was so conservative offensively. I'm not gonna lie, he reminded me of Jim Morris Sr. when, in the 80s and the 90s when Jim Morris was the head coach of the Saints, and he knew he had a dominant defense with Pat Swilling and Ricky Jackson and Sam Mills and Mo Vaughn. Really, I'm not gonna lie, those 4 players really comprised the defense. The fact that the NFL Network said that was the greatest defense of all time, and it really was primarily those 4 players, those 4 linebackers. That show you how dominant they were individually. But it'll be 3rd and long. Jamar Senior have a give up play there, put the ball and put his defense back on the field. Over time, you wear your defense down, and that's the problem with being conservative.
And that's what happened.
And the thing about it is, truth of the matter is, I don't want you to put Noah in a compromised situation where he can't really do some of the things you ask him to do, but at the same token, like, you gotta take risks, but you gotta take smart risk. The risk that he had when he threw the interception in the end zone, it was stupid. Like, it was you up 7 points. Just throw the ball in the flats, and if you get the first down, cool. If not, then all right. But at least you'd have been in a situation where you make McNeese State think, and you can say, all right, hey, we might go for it if it's 4th and short, as opposed to you just turning the ball over. It was stupid, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I just feel like, Coach Graves and his coaching staff go back to the drawing board. Bro, I'm just going to be honest with you. After the Savannah State game, you go to Jackson State, you go to Prairie View. It could get ugly real quick, bro. Jaguar Nation turn on Coach Graves quickly because we breathe excellence here in Baton Rouge. Here in Southern, we expect to win. Across town over there, LSU. Guess what? Chip Kelly, if he don't win, they're gonna run him out of town too. So at the end of the day, bro, like he knew what he was signing up for. So to a certain
he did.
Great, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not optimistic about the season because let's be honest, bro. McNeese didn't win one game last year on the field. The only game they won was real forfeit last year. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know they had over 50 transfers. They paid Clifton McDowell over 100 racks NIL money to get him there. But at the end of the day, bro, McNeese State is a trash team. They probably more than likely they're gonna come at the bottom of the Southern Conference. And for you to lose,
they will.
When you led the vast majority of the game, it's not saying anything about your team. So they're
gonna need a lot of ice this coming up Saturday.
No,
they playing Texas A&M.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, they're gonna really need to go to the drawing board. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, they're gonna get their head kicked in. In fact, I heard him say that Saturday in Cowboys Stadium. But at the end of the day, bro, like McNeese is a trash team, and for you to lead for the vast majority of the game and then turn around and throw the game away, bro, that's unacceptable. And Jaguar Nation, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you. Major shout out to Swack and the Fool because they really, he really had an optimistic outlook on it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not as optimistic. I'm more of a realist, and I believe in the power of positivity. I see the glass being half full as opposed to half empty. But at the end of the day, bro, they should have won that game. No way they should have lost that game. And
no way at all, man.
And then I'm gonna look at the chat. Anything you have to, in terms of icing you want to put on this terrible cake from this past Saturday. Because the thing that really pissed me off, I said, I mean, don't get me wrong, it didn't rain a ridiculous amount of time. It was cloudy to start the game. The game got going good. And bro, at one point, the sky just opened up and it rained hard for about 5 minutes and then it stopped. And not another drop fell out the sky the rest of the game. But it was enough, and the crazy thing about it is the same thing happened to me early in practice last week too. Like that, I think Thursday, where it just stormed. And I hate having wet socks. I hate having wet underwear. I had to drive home 2 hours with wet socks and wet underwear. I'd have felt better for the Southern won, but y'all lost. Man, come on. But any add on just to close this topic off.
No, man. Me and JB, we had this topic this past Sunday on the Southern Baller Show. Man, we watched that game from the beginning to the. We were definitely some Southern Jaguars fans that day. We were rooting for y'all, man, and that offense need work, man. That offense, the being off is not so terrible to the point where even with the so-so offensive line, you guys can make adjustments where y'all can move the ball when y'all get in SWAC play. He just out people that the offensive coordinator, Coach Graves needs to sit down, get together with their offensive, the heads of his offense, and find out where their strengths are.
Mark Frederick.
Yes. Mark Frederick. Sit down with Mark Frederick and continue to point out what their strengths are and work on that. You know what I mean? If you have because a lot of them young men on the offensive line, they're not the best, but they're athletic. So a lot of times what you do with an offense like that, screens.
Yeah.
But eventually you're gonna have to run the ball. But I think y'all gonna be able to compete when y'all get into SWAT play. But like you said, if it continues to look as bad as this, it could definitely turn ugly, and Coach Graves will be in trouble.
Yeah. And one last thing I want to point out, it kind of furthered this narrative that the SWAT can't beat PWIs and in the Southern Conference in particular. But there were years where Southern lost to like Northwestern State, especially Nickel State. They have Nickel State coming up in a few weeks. Bro, Senior went to Nickel State, and it wasn't by choice. It was because, my grandmother asked Senior, like, hey, where you going to school? He said, I'm going to Southern. Where I'm from, because, salute to everybody in the chat. But where I'm from, Nickel State is like 35 minutes south of where I'm from. And Southern is about 55 to 65 minutes, about an hour, right? And my grandmother told him, you better get your black behind on that bus and go to Thibodeau. So that's how I ended up going to Nickel State. And I'm not gonna lie, every time Nickel State beat Southern, especially when Southern was supposed to win, bro, it just heated him up. It made him so mad. And me and Mom was talking about this ride home Saturday night. I remember one year, Southern won. They ended up having to split of the Black National Championship because they lost that one game to Nickel State. Nickel State had only won like 1 or 2 games the entire season. Southern only lost 1 game that year, and Southern got down to the 1-yard line, and they called a quarterback sneak on a silent count. They hadn't practiced it. They hadn't run that play the whole year. And guess what? Eric Randall fumbled on the 1-yard line, and man, Senior didn't sleep. He didn't sleep at all that night. That's how heated he was. I mean, I don't get to the point where
I don't blame him.
But at the end of the day, like Southern needs to stop this narrative, because even the last time they played McNeese, they were up when Jason Riley was the interim coach. They was up like with 24, I think 24 to like 10 at halftime, and they lost like 27 to 24. So man, you need to stop this narrative of you not being able to beat PWIs. You need to be able to, and like P. Richardson used to say, like, hey, If I'm gonna play all these Southland Conference teams, I might as well join the Southland Conference. You know, I don't want to play Nickel State and McNeese and Northwestern State like all the time. I remember one year he played like 3 of them and they lost all 3. So, I definitely see, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
But let me
We
throw this
gonna see, man.
bro. Relax and calm, man. We appreciate you to the hardest. Salute, coach, and salute Jared 11 Green.
Salute, man.
Motivation to be a millionaire. Salute, coach and Jared. It's a pleasant surprise to see y'all live tonight. Now I have something to watch. Man, we appreciate you, bro. You always, showing much love.
Appreciate you, man.
Blackwater Bayou. Salute, brothers. He also said our whole offense trash. Coach, it all comes down to coaching. I mean, agreed. I mean, the play calling, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I hate to say it. There's no difference between last year and this year. I'm not gonna lie, my former assistant coach was like, Coach, they should have just kept doing it for that. I said, hell no, coach. But the offense does look the same. I guess he figuring you already got to pay Coach Dooley this $300,000 that you're on. You just might as well let him. I'm like, no. But I see what he meant. But the offense looks the same. Salute to the brother Willie Bolden. We appreciate you. He said, thanks, Coach, for speaking the truth. We in the heck are getting players and coaches. Like
He's basically saying, where in the heck are we getting
where in the heck? And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think from the skill position standpoint, for the exception of the quarterback position, I think we straight. I'm not gonna lie, the offensive line play in the quarterback position, that's a big question mark right there. You know what I'm saying?
Offensive line, y'all need some more slot. Y'all need some more big ugly tech.
I'm not gonna lie.
Actually block.
You need players like John Jenkins from back in the gap and Kendrick Baptiste and Jatari Carter and Dallas Black and Jeremiah Stafford. You need some hogs up front. That's where it really started, Blackwater Bayou said, after what I saw last Saturday, Southern gives me Stump Mitchell era vibes. I hate to say that, but we look bad. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say more.
Damn, I don't think they that bad.
I don't think they're that bad either. I think it's more of Eric Dooley last year than Stump Mitchell. I'm not gonna lie, Stump Mitchell, he used to do stupid stuff like, hey, Dre Joseph playing good. Hey, they both freshman quarterbacks. Both of them need experience. We up. We're gonna take Dre Joseph out. We're gonna put Jeremiah McGinty in for no real reason. And I'm like, it's stupid, bro. He got it going. And see, that's what I said. Next week, you play all 4 quarterbacks. I'm not even gonna lie. I'll play Noah. I'll play Zay Tessett. I'll play Jalen Woods. And I'll play Angelo Izzard Jr. But if you got a quarterback that got it rolling, you just stick with that guy. You stick with the hot hand. You know what I'm saying? And Willie Bolden said, Coach, SU is not a destination. I'm pounding the pavement on that. Who in the heck is our recruiter? And I ain't gonna lie, I agree with you from the standpoint of, I know you're looking at, guys in the past like Lindsey Scott Sr., like Jermaine Sharp, like Michael Hayes, like, I mean, I could just kind of go on and on, Kenyatta Sparks, Fred Bailey. Yeah, they don't have that caliber of player, but in all actuality, we don't know. I mean, I think if you had the offensive line play that you had in those days, and you had the quarterback, I mean, honestly and truthfully speaking, August Petrie III could have been as good as a Fred Bailey, a Kenyatta Sparks, or Devin Lewis. He could have been that good if he had an offensive line that could block and he had a quarterback that could get him the ball. But I think the 2 areas we're struggling offensively is offensive line play and quarterback play. I think if you could straighten out those 2 positions, I think we'll be straight. You know what I'm saying? He said my dad was even frustrated with play calls. I'm ready to get rid of our OC. I'm gonna be truthful, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. At this point, if things keep going the way they're going, Ronald Banks is next up. The former head basketball coach, that's the athletic director, he's gonna be next. And it's not just gonna be the OC, it's gonna probably be the whole staff. And I'm gonna be truthful. I think if this continues to persist, I hate to say it. I already said former Alcorn State head coach Fred McNair, he only gonna be here for a good time, not a long time. At some point, you might have rumblings of people saying, "Hey, you need to be the next head coach." So I think that's possible, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, you know. So Coach Graves, he need to get his stuff together. I'm not even gonna lie to you, because hey, that seat could get hot pretty quick. Blackwater, Bayou said, "Me too, Coach. I was wet and upset from the game." I was, oh no, I ain't gonna lie, bro. You know, I had already experienced it earlier that week. You know, in practice, you know, it stormed raining. You know, one day in practice, and the head coach decided, like, hey, we gonna play in the rain one game this season. So hey, we're gonna have a practice in the rain, and I got soaking wet. My socks were wet, my drawers were wet. That was that day in practice, and it was Saturday too. So, you know, it just kind of reminded me earlier that week. And not only they lost, I'd have been cool if they'd have won, but man, I gotta ride home wet and we lost. Oh man, that made me mad. And the crazy thing about it is I had to change the clothes in a car, but I just wanted to get back to Baton Rouge so bad. I said, heck with it, I'm gonna ride wet, you know. And he said it was hard to watch. It's too much like last year. I'm not gonna lie, Willie Bolden. It's exactly like last year. I'm not gonna lie, it's identical, bro. I kid you not. It's identical to last year. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that aggravates me. He said we're gonna get our heads beat in swag play start if we do not open up the play. I say the same thing too. I'm not gonna lie, they need to make a conscious effort when they play against J State. Get the ball, the Chandler Whitfield, the Kendrick Rhymes, the Quay Davis, to Dupree Fuller. You know, they really need to make a concerted effort. Whatever quarterback give you the best chance of getting the ball to these guys out in space, I think that's what we need to do. I mean, you trying to pound a rock when your offensive line ain't built like that. He said, Willie Bolden said, yes, we can't beat white coaches. I don't know what it is. I mean, you know, when Pete Richardson first started playing against Northwestern State, I was there the first time they played them. They beat them 31-10. And I'm not going to lie, the score really didn't indicate how lopsided the game was. Southern beat the brakes off of Northwestern State. But for whatever reason, we can't beat them. And I remember the game against Tulane when they had either it was J.P. Lossman or Patrick Ramsey was the starting quarterback for Tulane. And, you know, Tulane was up 6-0, and then Southern went down and scored. It was 7-6. Then Tulane scored, and Tulane never looked back. They ended up beating Southern like 44-7. So I don't know what it is when we play these PWIs. We can't make adjustments. And Blackwater Bayou said the plays went open up because the offensive line ain't. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. The offensive line is it was an issue last year. It was an issue in the spring. Offensive line still trash. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say it, but I'm gonna call a spade a spade. He said, why are we coaching like we were heavy favorites? I'm not gonna lie, I just don't like the conservative approach. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, I know the offense wasn't good, your defense good, but you just can't keep running back out there. And, you leave your defense out there.
The defense, because you can't tell me the defense didn't get tired because McNeese scored all their damn points in the fourth quarter.
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
tired as hell.
Yeah, they left the defense out on the field to die, bro. You know what I'm saying? He was saying 21-10. I mean, all the same to me. Blackwater Bayou said Terrence Green after this season needs to clean house on his whole offensive staff. I'm gonna keep it 100. If he not careful, he gonna be part of the house that get clean, to be truthful. So I don't know. I could see one and done the way we going. Willie Bolden said my dad is saying that. I agree 100%. And Willie Bolden was saying, where is Ethan Howard? I mean, I don't know, bro. I mean, Dupree Fuller been a guy since the spring. So I don't know. Maybe they don't want to play two tight ends. But I mean, either way the cut go, I mean, the tight end was a focal point of the offense, but it was Dupree Fuller, you know what I'm saying? So, that pretty much wraps up this edition of HBCU Fanatics episode 3. Any closing thoughts you have, bro?
No, man, I'm just excited that even though saw some games that irritated me, but I'm just excited the football season is back, man. HBCU and the PWI schools, man, but mainly the HBCU. So I'm just geek, bro. I'm just geek.
Yeah, and we appreciate everybody that came through. Willie Bolden, big time in the chat. Blackwater Bayou, motivation to be a millionaire. Uh, Relaxing Calm Rain. We appreciate all these individuals. We appreciate everybody that's gonna watch on playback. These particular individuals that's in the chat, because guess what? They show us major love and major support.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Live stream out. We appreciate y'all. Salute to the awesome and amazing LDBC. Everybody in the chat, everybody showing love. We gonna catch y'all on the rebound for the Southern Baller Show on Sunday. Whatever time my brother decide he won't have it. Also, go check out Cadillac Reds, Boxing Talk, Coach's Playbook on Thursday. Probably about 7:30 Central Standard Time, 8:30. Coach's Playbook. Y'all gonna support my brother Supreme Beast, Boxing Talk, Cadillac Red. Also tomorrow gonna be episode 1 of the Southern Pride podcast with myself and Louisiana All American Sports Network. Y'all check that out, and don't forget to check out my brother Brent Fox. It's just me. He does 20 by 20 series also. We're gonna catch y'all on the rebound. Y'all have a blessed, phenomenal evening. Peace and blessings.
Y'all be blessed.